Good morning, you guys. I just stood here talking to myself and didn't have the video recording. So let's try this again. Take two. I open in a couple hours. It's 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. I open at 10. And I wanted to do this now so that you guys would know what you were seeing when you came in. If you want to see it in person, you can do so today. This is a chest of drawers I've been working on, okay? But one of the things I neglect to talk about on a regular basis is how you can also paint small things of different materials. Okay, so the DIY mineral paint by Debi Beard can go over plastic and glass and metal and wood, fabric, vinyl. It's amazing. Okay, you don't have to sand, you don't have to prime, but when you're done you have to seal it. So I carry all the sealers. There's a product called Big Top, which is a paint on if you just want to lock down what you've done. You don't want to change the color, you want it to be just a quick matte finish. The Big Top is easy, simple, wonderful. Wax is easy, simple, wonderful, but for me it gives options that are just that much easier to manipulate when I'm trying to go for an aged effect. So one of my favorite finishes is like a verdigris finish, like oxidized copper, oxidized metal, the things that happen in the corner of, of metal things that have been sitting outside. And I like to do it all over the piece because it's one of my favorite combination of colors. It also emulates the waterfront wall. So if you go down in Southport, it's not the same since the hurricanes, but when treated lumber changes color because of the salt and the algae and the water and the sun, it also takes on kind of this blue-green combination of colors. So I have done two of my favorite colors for that effect, and that's Fancy Farm Girl. You do as I say, not as I do when it comes to cleaning your cans. Okay, Fancy Farm Girl first. I just dry brush it on and I kind of pounce it in, and then I do Old 57. Okay, so when I talk about pouncing, it's like stippling. If you used to stencil, it's just pounce, 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 and it kind of blends your colors. So when it dries, it's going to be very chalky. So I've got a couple of pieces here. You see, it's very kind of hazy. It's very hard to see on video. Very hazy, very chalky. Here, this is easier to see, I think. Just kind of flat, very flat. Okay. And when you wax it, it brings back that luster. Wax it or Big Top it, okay? So, because I was talking to you earlier and failed to record that, they have already been clear waxed. And all of the manufacturers recommend clear wax first because it makes the dark easier to manipulate. I do not disagree. I think that is very wise, especially while you're learning. Now, I will tell you, once you're comfortable with it, you can leapfrog straight to the dark, but you need to know going in, it's gonna be dark, and it's harder to back up if you haven't first done that clear coat. And it's so much easier than I may be making it sound, you guys. But all of these already been clear coated, okay? And I always use the analogy of it's like the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. You just buff it in, you go right behind it, and you buff it out so it has that nice, soft sheen, that smooth finish. Now we're going to dark wax, okay? So, don't need a lot. That's just barely kind of rubbed across the surface. This was one of those metal, I don't know if you can see the bottom, but it was just brown metal urn, and I have clear waxed it. Now, and it's hard to do it at this angle, but when you buff in the dark, it's going to lay in the crevices. It's going to make it look that much more aged. I don't push it down into the crevices because I like to have some of that brighter blue peeking out, because that's how I see it when I see the real McCoy. Okay, so when things have been sitting out and allowed to age naturally, which y'all know I love. Okay, so even on the inside, you want to get it all, get down in here. Of course, you're going to do the whole piece. Now, just for the sake of time, and I'll go back and finish the rest of it, but you then go back in with a clean spot on your cloth and you just kind of buff it out. And what you end up with, I hope you can see, is this like you've got the before, the brighter version, and then the after. Just a little bit darker, a little bit aged, a little bit yummier, or a different kind of yummy, I should say, because it's all lovely. So this is here, it's on the floor. I'm just kind of leaving it in progress, working on it as I'm able so that you can see it, you can ask questions. It's all right here by the product. Salt wash is here. We've talked about the salt wash. The salt wash you mix into your paint to add texture. So if you have something very flat and you would like to add that craggy texture that things pick up when they've been sitting out in the salt air, or if they've rusted, salt wash is the product for you. I carry these little idea books. They're $2 a piece. I read through them again last night. Really some neat stuff in here. Really good step-by-step instructions. I have the beginner's kit if you would like to have like an actual kit. And then I have just the cans. Okay? So the salt wash is here. I've had lots of questions this weekend about, do I do classes? I do. But I am not able to coordinate groups to put dates out there and go through the back and forth. If I can't do that, do you have this, that I used to. What I need for you guys to do is to gather up 5 friends or 4 friends and yourself, put some dates together that might work for you, and give me a call. Or if you want to start with me first, we can pick a date and you can call and coordinate with your friends. But that is what I have found works the best. Private parties, they don't need to be close friends. Sometimes people post signs on neighborhood websites, or you know, at work, you know, bulletin boards at work. They gather up five friends and or acquaintances, and we do a little class. So that's it for this morning. I'm open today 10 to 4. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on any of the venues. The cell phone number is 704-202-5830. Y'all have a good afternoon. I'll see you when you get here. Bye.